So if you watch my other video on the bird boxes, I haven't put a link to it because honestly I don't really know how to do it. I am getting help off my kids and wife to better the channel because obviously more people are watching and hopefully more people I'm helping. It's basically just my way of doing things. I've been a joiner for, well, as long as I can remember. My dad was a builder and I worked with him, and it was just my plan, and I enjoy it. But the more now, obviously if you watch my other videos, I do it more as a hobby. But a few people have mentioned that they like these bird boxes and they do seem to sell well and or give away well. I make other things, requests, but the bird boxes has been a sustainable thing that people continually want. So in my other video, we had a 900 or a meter piece of scrap decking. Basically we cut that into our pieces, which were 2 at 200 long and 2 at 250, and then 2 pieces of feather edge boarding at 150 long. So if you've done that, I cut them all, and then we put the 45 degrees on the 250 sides, and then we trimmed them up to make sure they all fit. So basically when we put them together we get nice little profiles like that. I've sanded them all up and I run sandpaper through the grooves, and basically that's what you get. You basically get a nice weathered, vintage looking piece of timber. And basically all we do now is we look at pinning them together. And that's what we'll do. I'll use the pin gun to pin it together. But before we do that, I like marking my timber up for pilot holes. What we do then is quite simple. We obviously don't want to split the wood, so we pilot. The easiest way I've found to pilot is get a metal ruler. The ruler is basically, I don't know, it's about 40 mil thick, and I use that to lay flat on my profile pieces. So from the bottom, I just put marks on my timber that I believe won't split, same as at the top. And we just put the marks on where we know it won't split. So I don't know if you can see that. I put marks there and there, there and there. It's far enough down and up from the joining timber, hopefully to not split it. I found that it doesn't at that. So basically, there's your marks. You'll drill through straight on all corners, same as on the front piece. Pilot that, and the same with the hole at the front. You can use either a hole cutting saw like that, or you can use a paddle bit like that. I prefer the hole cutting saw. It just makes less mess as far as splintering the timber goes. That can be this can be a bit vicious. So I use that to cut through, and it's quite simple to mark up your center. You can see decking basically has all the marks you need, so you know exactly where the center is because of the grooves. So all I do is I go in line with my 2 profiles. So I make a dot where my hole is going to be, which would be there. And then I knowing that my hole will be there, you know, whatever distance you're happy with to make, so we can have a perch or a branch. I always try and go sort of the same difference. So my marks are there, so that's going to be in a black screw. My hole's going to be there, so I'm going to put my perch there, and I can pilot all them. I can pilot this as well. And once they're piloted and I'm happy, I can then hole saw the hole that I want, which is a 32mm. I think that is the best size bird box. I was making them at 25 for blue and grey tits. However, more and more people say they just rather the 32mm hole, which is fine. Unless stated, I do them at 32 now. And then I put a metal ring or plate around the hole that I will cut. Again, keeping it all level, so keep your, you know, don't try and keep them skew if. I like looking at things and thinking it's meant to be. So when that's cut out, the hole, take your time and get that positioned nicely over, so the birds, whoever, can't peck away around the hole, which they do. It makes a little bit of a mess then, and it doesn't look as nice. So that's why I ended up adding them on this bit of a video with your 2 roof pieces as well. These are feather edge, like I said, and these will just literally go on the roof. But because they'll be overlapping, you need to cut one of them, basically the thickness of the next board. So you need to run that edge off. I'll show you for why. So basically there, again, I've been doing it a while, so I know about the distance. So you basically cut that off there, and I'll show you why. Don't forget to just run your edges off. I don't like seeing splinters or pieces of timber flicking up. So basically that all, it'll come apparent when you put the roof on, you'll notice now that looks approximately equal from basically that point to that point, and then that point to that point. If we hadn't cut it, that would be down there, and that side of the roof would be longer than the other. Does that make sense? So you've run off about 10-15 mil. It doesn't have to be perfect, but again, to look at it, you want the roof, you don't want it lopsided. You don't look at it and think, you know, you could have easily whipped that end off. And I'm sure if you do make these, you might think, sorry, I won't do that. And then you'll look at it and think, I'm going to do that. So we've got all our pieces. We've got it all marked. I'll now pre-drill it. I'll just put some drill marks through. I will pilot the bigger hole, and I'll pilot where the branch is going to be in the same pilot bit, which is, bear with me, I have different pilot bits, and I use, and in fact this is a metal bit. I think it's a 4. My screws, my black screws that I use are here. So if you notice, my pilot bit is about the same size as my screw, and obviously I don't go the whole depth of the screw because I want the screw to bite into my timber, so I only go about half. Once I'm through this bit of timber, I allow the screw then to fix into my other pieces of timber, which pulls it all in. Once I've pinned it together, you'll find a lot of places just pin their bird boxes together because that's the quickest and easiest way. This isn't. However, over time I felt that they were, you know, they were unstable, and they were either going to drop apart or they started showing signs of gaps, which is not ideal. You know, you want these things to last, and they will last, but you have to do these sort of little things to help it. So once I've piloted, and before I pin it together, I'll do another little video. I don't want to do them too long because they get fucking boring, and I don't want that. So once you've watched this one, you might have a better idea of thinking, okay, this is a step-by-step plan. I'm trying not to Blue Peter it and say this is what I did earlier, but I'm not good enough to on YouTube to do all the time lapses and shit like that. So I'll do the piloting and then come back and do another little video when we pin it together, and it starts taking shape as a bird box. So subscribe if you like, and watch my other videos. Thanks.